Hi everyone, Kiki here from Perfume Passion. Today's video is going to be about Christian Dior. First of all, it's my scent of the day, New Look 1947 from the Dior Exclusive line. And I also would like to share my thoughts about what I think of this line as a whole in terms of like price worthiness, projection, longevity, and also what type of fragrances they have, which ones I like, which ones I don't like, and how they also how they market this line. I think in a previous video I talked about the risk of getting discovery sets, and I showed you this one. You guys can go back and check out that video if you're interested. This is actually quite a good deal. If you look at the price per milliliter, they give you like 8 fragrances. You can see this box is empty. I don't have any of these left. I'm going to be passing the box on to someone who wants the box because he's been collecting quite a few of these minis. My idea was to kind of, get acquainted with the line and then maybe sell a few that I wasn't that interested in. But a few of them I had kind of problems getting rid of because there are certain fragrances that are just not that popular. But I did actually end up giving away Tea Cashmere and Rose Gipsy to my sister-in-law, who absolutely loves these two. So all is well. So they give you these minis. There's little splash bottles, 7.5 milliliter. When you buy, or at least our biggest department store here in Stockholm gives you one, even if you buy just the smallest size, they'll give you an extra mini. And I think with that deal, I think it is actually worth the money. Then you get a chance, it doesn't have to be the same fragrance. You can choose one, which I think is a great deal. At the other competing department store, you have to buy like 2 of these, or the bigger bottle, the 125, I think, in order to get one. Anyway, I've like passed all of these on, mostly because I think they don't project that well, and they don't last that long. And this is the only one that I have now a full bottle of. I used to have Gris Dior. I gave it to somebody who really liked it. I just kept a few mils for myself. I find that this Gris Dior actually works when you layer it with something, but it's lacking something. I think it needs a little tiny bit of sweetness or something to lift it a little bit. I like to layer it with Rouge Trafalgar. I don't have a bottle of that, but I have a sample, and they work great together. So maybe this is really more of a layering house. Like, they don't, like, many of them are very fresh and light and like skin scent type of fragrances. For example, this one is too, but I really love this fragrance. But like, for example, Sakura, Rose Gipsy, Bois D'Argent, Gris Dior, Balade Sauvage, Tea Cashmere, like all of those, Lucky as well, Holy Peony. I'm sure there are more that I'm just not thinking of right now. There are a few that I think are actually quite powerful and that maybe don't fit with this description. I'll get there in a minute, but first I'd like to describe to you why I love this one so much. I find this a very unisex fragrance. My friend that I talked about the other day in the video about Bottega Veneta, he and I both share our love for this fragrance. This one it has like a burst of pink pepper when you first spray it, and then it has like a whole bouquet of flowers in the heart, with tuberose, gardenia, which are like 2 of my favorite floral notes, and also ylang ylang, which I also love. And I think it's, let's see, rose and also jasmine. And then there's a hint of, in the base, vanilla and benzoin. So, but I think this has a little bit of a medicinal something. Like, I can't say what this is, but it's so soft and elegant and wonderful, and you can just go wild and spray it. It's not going to offend anybody. I love the feel of the bottles, even the bigger bottles, of course, and the sprayers are great. I love the presentation of the Dior exclusive line. I mean, also like the cardboard cylinder-shaped packages that come with these, and the way that they look like all lined up with the different colors. I mean, I can see why that is attractive to a lot of people, like collectors. But since I'm not a collector, I'm more of a perfume discoverer. I don't let myself go for that kind of thing. For me, it's about the juice, of course. But I love this one. And I've also had Mitza, which is discontinued now. I found that to be very powerful, a little bit smoky, and I got rid of it because I thought it was too smoky, which is really kind of strange because now I bought Le Lion from Chanel, which is even smokier, but has so much more to it, this Mitza. So I passed that on. I had Amber Nuit, which was a little bit more, a little bit better performing than the ones I mentioned, but not great either. But that, I think, leans a little bit too masculine. But I'm still kind of thinking about getting a bottle because I miss it. I kind of wish I held on to it. And then the newest release, Tobacolor, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, is, I think, a promising fragrance. Maybe the release now for spring wasn't good timing, but I think for fall, I think I'll be looking into this fragrance again because I have found that tobacco scents have been growing on me a little bit. I love my Naxos bottle, and there are all these other tobacco fragrances that I'm starting to kind of get into. So I might actually pick that up again and give it another chance. I've only tried it in store, but I find that one is really different from a lot of the watery fragrances that are in the exclusif line. And I hear other reviewers describing these scents as this is a watery rose. I mean, who wants a watery rose, right? You want a candied rose, a jammy rose, a deep rose, I don't know, chocolatey rose, but a watery rose. No, that's not for me. I think that they're too weak, they're too soft, very nice, but they're just, no. Most of them don't really they don't meet my standards in a perfume. For me to pay that kind of money, I want something more. But I mean, there still probably are fragrances from that line that I'll end up buying, and I can understand why they are popular, and I think that the presentation is kind of a little bit fooling us all because it's a great idea with these minis, and you can try new fragrances, and you can kind of pass them around, and that gets people to buy them. And this thing with longevity isn't so important these days because I tend to change my scent every 3 hours, and that's about how long they last, so it doesn't really matter. That was all for today. Bye, guys.